guys, what's up? My name is Anita and you're watching me on a Thursday on my YouTube channel Slate with Anita. If you want to know more about me, please do stay with me till the end of the video because I've put some introduction slides there. And but in the meanwhile, I'm a mindset coach by profession. And Thursdays, what I do is I put out information about NLP, neuro linguistic programming, because I'm extremely passionate about this subject. And you ask me why? Well, why not? Because this is the only subject that I have discovered in the whole world, which says that you have all the resources you need within yourselves. And I feel that's a very, very empowering space for any of us to operate from. Wouldn't you agree? Well, right now, although I have covered quite a bit of chapters, you can refer back to my older videos for that. But last Thursday, I actually started talking about filters and how big an ocean filters is. So I had introduced the topic and left you there. So today I'm going to talk a little more about filters. So stay tuned. Have you ever heard anybody describe their favorite meal or their favorite maybe a sports game that they have watched, or say a beautiful place that they might have visited? Well, I go through this all the time when someone describes their favorites to me. Example, my husband and I, when he likes this Indian dish called biryani, right? Biryani is actually pretty world famous, but it's like a one pot dish, if you may. So when he talks about a place from where, let's say, he's had biryani, it's like I feel like he's literally having the biryani all over again. You get what I mean? The same thing happens when some of my friends describe a football match that they have watched. Did you see that kick? Did you see how the guy did the goal? And it's literally as if they are right there in the stadium when they are narrating the whole story back to me. Well, you get the drift, right? Whenever somebody does that, we call that, from a filter point of view, an associated state of functioning, where literally with my complete senses, it's like I'm going through the whole experience as if it's happening with me, like now, right? I'm completely feeling associated with that. So similarly, while there is associated, there is also disassociated. This disassociated is obviously when I'm maybe not feeling that connected to something. Like, for example, my husband and I, we have different food choices. So sometimes when, let's say, he's talking about a certain dish which I know I don't eat, and I'm able to participate in the discussion, but I'm not completely there, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm not able to completely appreciate what is he really going through. So I'm a little disassociated. So I participate, but I'm not really in the discussion. So you have associated, where you're completely in, like completely yourself within you. And then you have disassociated, where you're really like having that experience, but from an outside point of view. Now, why do we go through associated, disassociated? Well, at the cost of stating the obvious, we all go through many experiences in life, and let's say we must have the ability to choose what state is more useful at a given point of time, depending on what is it that I'm trying to accomplish out of that situation. Example, if you have noticed how parents support children when children are sharing something, you see that they are getting completely associated like the way the child is. Why? Because it's an associated state. It's a useful state. It is going to encourage the child to share more and more. But similarly, you will see sometimes on the other end of the spectrum, there will be these political leaders, there will be these CEOs, and you'll see a lot of stuff being written about them, discussed about them, and yet they seem to be very unaffected by it all, and they go about their business like it's in a day's work, because they choose to be disassociated in that space. So yes, friends, depending on what is our experience in life, if we have the ability to choose what is associated, where we will be associated, and where we will not be associated, that means we will be disassociated, it becomes a very useful thing. Wouldn't you agree? On that note, I'll actually refer to Sue Knight's book, NLP at Work, 3rd edition. By the way, the 4th edition is already out. You might want to quickly grab your Kindle Audible versions. No, not Audible, Kindle version. I don't know which part of the world are you from, because in some cases I think the delivery is not happening of the physical book. Having said that, talking about associated, disassociated, In her chapter on filters, there is this brief incident that she shares, which further illustrates what is this all about. So here it goes. One of the people responsible for coaching and supporting the people in London Fire Brigade discovered that the members of the crew who experienced the highest levels of stress were those who realized their memories in an associated way. As they recalled what had happened, they re-experienced the emotions that they felt at the time. So, as well as experiencing the trauma of each situation. They were experiencing it over and over again and subsequently intensifying the stress they felt. The coach also established that those who had the lowest levels of stress were those who were able to disassociate from what they had experienced. Well, there's a hint for all of us there. If we are going through, let's say, some painful experience, or we have gone through a painful experience, or we observe someone around us who has gone through a painful experience, what would be fantastic is to notice how much of association are they displaying towards that, and to see if that can be converted to a disassociated state, right? The same thing holds good for, say, when we are in conflicts, when we are getting angry. If a temporary disassociation can mean that the overall better outcome can be achieved, why not? At the same time, to enrich an experience even more better, if we need to get associated, why not, right? In fact, Sue also talks about another example, which is of gamers. I don't know how many of you are gamers out here, but if you see that the way gaming consoles are designed, the way games are played, you'll see that the experience is created in a manner where you're like completely associated. It's like as if you're really going and playing that car chase. It's as if you're really going ahead and participating in that war. Why? Because it puts you in a state of extreme association and can get you hooked to it, like the most powerful drug that there can be. So that's association and dissociation for you guys. So the question that I would like to leave you with is, what are the states where you feel you are completely associated and it works for you? Also, what are the states where you are completely associated but it does not work for you? Also, when is it that you are disassociated and probably things would be better if you showed association? Also, when you are disassociated and when it doesn't work for you. I will look forward to hearing a lot of experiences from your end. The contact details will be furnished at multiple times through the video. You keep watching and I'll come back to you next Thursday with something more on filters. Thank you for watching Slate with Anita. Bye. Take care.